So last night was the opening of the Primetime January 6 hearings, and boy, were they fucking boring, dude. And looks like literally nobody gives a fuck. It's kind of like the way that Biden looks at the economy, just kind of with a sideways glance, and is like, eh. Because, okay, $19 million, or $19 million, no, it's probably what Cheney pocketed for that, but no, 19 million people showed up to just tune in. And that wasn't on one station, okay? Because that would be super impressive, right? Those are like Super Bowl numbers. But when you compare and contrast and you break down the numbers, that's 19 million people tuning in on 5 different network stations, okay? Literally nobody gave a fuck about this tired, dead old fucking story. And literally what they put up there as new evidence was just a supercut of some fucking footage spliced over top with a Trump speech, okay? That was the only interesting part about that entire shit show. And it's supposed to be going on for a while. And you know why it's going to be going on for a while? And oh yeah, even the fucking white-haired ghost lady there. She said that, well, the investigation isn't completely over yet. You know why it's not? Because they still have another election cycle in order to pimp there, so she'll be gone, okay, because I don't know if she's already lost or is about to lose her primary in Wyoming, but yeah, she's gone. Kissinger, the only other Republican that was up there on that stage, he's not seeking re-election because he'd lose embarrassingly like Cheney is, or did. I don't even know. I don't really care. She's losing in every fucking metric. Kind of like everybody else that's up there, because look who else is on this fucking panel. Adam Wide-Eyed, Bug-Eyed Schiff, great, wonderful, fantastic. Jamie Raskin, for those of you in the know. He was the lead impeachment cat the first time around in fucking, February of 2021? That was the third investigation into 2016. Or 2016, sorry, January 6th. They all run together because it has the same amount of factual basis. Fucking none. The entire purpose of this blatant show trial is to, A, take up everybody's time nonsensically, which I'm only going to pay a passing attention to because they don't have fucking anything. Okay, it's literally not there. If they could tie Trump to inciting the insurrection literally once, they would have done it over the 3 other times they've had an opportunity to investigate the goings on at the Capitol on January 6th, 2021. We are 17 months out from this nonsense, and here we are, haven't fucking moved a goddamn inch, and it's disgusting. And literally, again, the Democrats are hitching their fucking midterm campaign to another failed proposition: gun control, abortion, and now January 6th. It was popular at the time because everybody could remember all of the oversaturated and overexposed photos that made it look like there was smoke billowing out of the Capitol Hill building. But there wasn't any. There wasn't any, okay? Oh, but what about all the death and destruction? Not once when I was listening to the opening statements on this fucking show trial that's made me physically ill, okay? Like, my blood pressure can't take watching this shit all the time because it was just so goddamn nauseating and head-scratchingly absurd that anybody would vote for these fucking walking corpses. But not even once did they bring up Officer Brian Sicknick, okay? You could have said, oh my god, he died in service. Well, he died in a stroke after the fact. Oh, but he got hit over the head with a fire extinguisher. No, he didn't. Never happened. Did you bring up that Ashley Babbitt got shot and killed? Oh, well, she was one of those evil other people that are out there, and she deserved that bullet from 50 feet away while she was getting pushed through a window. And oh yeah, we have all of this new evidence that's out there. Not really, we aren't showing any of it, but we're just gonna drag everybody there, and we're gonna have Ivanka Trump give her testimony because she was really integral to the White House and wasn't really paying attention to anything at the time, but oh, she's an important person, unlike everybody else that's up there, and nobody gives a fucking shit. Again, this is the current trajectory of the Democratic Party. Yeah, Cheney and Kissinger have an R at the end of their name. You know what that stands for? Republican? Retarded. Democrats' effort to saturate the airways with its primetime January 6th show trial on Thursday yielded 19 million viewers across 5 fucking networks. In prime time, okay? I wasn't watching it live because I have better things to do with my life, like, I don't know, count how many CDs I have on my shelf, or, count the different fibers in the carpet, dust the picture behind, literally anything else, okay? I didn't give a fuck, and it was streamed, and I don't know how many people were watching it online, which is probably, I don't know, maybe that would bump it up another million people, like, okay, and then on top of that, you had commentary channels also talking about it so literally, what, at best, 21, 22 million people gave a fuck about this nonsense? More content is probably being made today about how nonsensical this is than anything else. And it's going to be going on for a long time. It's going to be going on for a couple more weeks. And it's all on the taxpayer dime because they can't get Orange Man out of their fucking head. They're disgusting human beings. But yeah, no, just compare and contrast the 19 million viewers across 5 fucking networks. And compare that to even the State of the Union this year. Okay, I guess Joe Biden's really a ratings draw. And he really drives people, dead or alive, to the voting booth. Okay, because 81 million votes can't be fucking wrong. And he drew 38 million viewers for his State of the Union address. But then again, you could also take a look back at some of Trump's previous State of the Union addresses and then, realize who's exactly the most popular person in the room here. Yeah. But don't you dare talk about anything surrounding why January 6th happened, because YouTube's a fair, open, and honest place. The figure beat the daytime broadcast of Robert Mueller's Russia collusion hoax hearing by about 6 million viewers. Again, this is all shit that is supposed to energize the Democratic base, but when they put it on television for the world to see, nobody gives a fuck because they never deliver the goods, okay? They have these huge fucking claims. Oh my God, Trump wanted to overturn everything and he was going to reign like an emperor for the end of time. Oh my God. And then where's your receipts? You don't have any. Almost nonstop hype leading up to Thursday's primetime broadcast. I kind of stay off of television because it's all full of cancer and AIDS, and sometimes on specific channels you might get a little bit of both and throw in some obesity and you got the TLC channel. But I don't know, were there like banners on Fox News and NBC and all of the nightly news programs? Like, were they pushing this stuff? I don't really know. It doesn't really look like it worked or anything like that. And this is the most space they're going to get because, honestly, what are they trying to accomplish with this panel right here? Okay, obviously, like I said, they don't really have any evidence. They're going to have some well-produced fucking video that's out there. Are they going to show any of the officers letting people into the Capitol? No. Are they going to show any of the people that got into the Capitol moving the little velvet rope? God, I sure hope so, because that would be funny as fuck. But are they going to, memorialize anybody who died? No, because they can't. And you wouldn't, because the only person that died at the Capitol was Ashley Babbitt, who your vaunted Capitol Hill Police Department got a little too fucking trigger happy and shot from a safe distance away. But yeah, no, don't discuss and don't investigate any of that stuff. We need to disqualify Trump so he can't run again in 2024, so we can set a dangerous precedent without the other side offering any countervailing evidence. That's all this is, okay? This is just to put out there. This is just to re-propagandize everybody because it was a popular talking point in 2021. So what is good then is good now, right? Everybody loves a good sequel, right? Right. Anyways, we get back to this for a second. Democrats were hoping to bombard Americans with flashbacks of January 6th Capitol Hill riot in an effort to distract them from the many failures of the Democratic-controlled White House and Congress. Exactly. But, Chairman Bennett Thompson asked us a lot of important questions. And one of the first things that he says, he's like, I'm from a small town in Mississippi and I still live there, and it's a place that's vaunted for its KKK and white supremacy. It's like, literally, dude, we know exactly what you're trying to do, okay? And then, continue to bring up the Proud Boys. Yeah, okay, cool. A fucking fringe group that didn't have any mainstream traction prior to Joe Biden bringing it up during the presidential debates. Nobody knew who the fucking Proud Boys were. You can go back and take a look at the Google searches, okay? The only time that it popped up prior to September of 2020 was, I don't know, whenever Gavin McInnes was doing some fuck shit off to the side. Like, outside of that, it's a drinking club, okay? What have they actually accomplished and done? Well, actually, it's pretty impressive because they've done very little, but they've amassed a lot of attention. But they're bad because they're white, except for their current leader is a Afro-Cuban immigrant. So how do you reconcile that? Nah, they're all white supremacists. And the Oath Keepers, somebody pled to a deal, and they've been charged with insurrection. charged from something that happened in January of 2021. There are people still being unlawfully detained because the due process, they're more like guidelines, really. But we swore an oath to the Constitution, and they axed us to hold us to our oath to protect the American citizenry. Oh, God, the fucking weeks of this coverage is going to be fucking nonsense. But it's going to be getting the most traffic out there because the Democrats don't want you to look at their fucking failings because they are plentiful. They are super plentiful. U.S. inflation soars to 8.6%, highest in 41 years. Yes, exactly. God, I was going to make a midlife crisis joke for Joe Biden, but that's actually not that far off. That would only be inaccurate by 3 years. Oh boy, he's fucking ancient, but still. It's impressive how poor of a president he's been, how terrible this Congress has been. And no, don't talk about that because Orange Man could still run in 2024 and we need to get rid of him. Get fucked. Prices faced by U.S. consumers rose 8.6% in May, defying expectations that inflation had peaked in March. Oh, no, don't worry. That's one thing you can count on, Joe. Things can always get worse. Never overestimate how much Joe Biden can fuck something up, care of Barack Obama, and indicating that the Federal Reserve's task of bringing it back under control will be more challenging than officials anticipated. No fucking shit. Compared with April, prices rose 1%. 1 more percent on top of historic fucking highs. Congratulations, you broke another record. Inflation hit a 4-decade high of 8.557%. Might as well just round it up for the kids in the back. And moved down to 8.3% in April. Economists had expected inflation to tick down to 8.2% in May. This is the 12th straight month that inflation is above 5%, which is what you would anticipate. Not nearly double that. Fucking Christ. Excluding food and energy, prices were up 6% compared to a year ago. Look how much food and energy throws that off. 2.6 points. Fucking Christ. But we'll get to that specifically in a moment. On the month, prices rose 0.6%, matching last month's gain and beating the expectation of a slowdown to 0.5%. Yeah, but have you heard about gun control and how you remember January 6th? That was scary. But speaking about energy specifically, I've exhibited quite a bit. I didn't think I'd get this worked up. Most believe Biden administration allowing gas prices to rise to get Americans off fossil fuels. Yeah, it's no longer a conspiracy. Most people believe it. So, hey, by Democrats' logic, okay, if most people think it, therefore it's got to be true. Most people think that Joe Biden was a good choice for the 46th president. Well, there you go. That means it has to be true, right? Or either that or he was just so popular that he got his great-great-grandparents to vote for you. Most voters believe Joe Biden's administration is allowing gas prices to rise to force Americans to use less fossil fuels, a convention of the States Action Trafalgar Group survey released Friday. The survey asked, do you believe the Biden administration is intentionally letting gas prices rise to make Americans use less fossil fuels? Seems about right. Mostly 53% said yes. Wow. They believe the Biden administration is allowing it to happen purposefully to force Americans to use less fossil fuels. God, I wish that was something different that looked like that and he was pointing it in the other direction with his mouth open. Boy can dream. Another 39.6%, however, did not believe that was the case, and 7.4% were the enlightened centrists that were out there. Opinions are divided among party lines. No shit. 3/4 of Republicans, 77.3%, just about 4/5, and 56.5% of independents, believe that the Biden administration is deliberately allowing gas prices to rise for those purposes. Those are pretty big chunks of pretty significant groups, okay? Most Democrats, 68.7%, disagree and do not believe the administration is doing so. And again, they couldn't even muster up the same amount of support for their most popular president of all time. That's almost embarrassing. Almost. Survey was taken May 25th through the 29th among 1,091 likely general election voters and has a margin of error of 0.29%. Oh, so it could actually get worse for Joe. That's cool. It comes as gas prices broke yet another record high on Friday, jumping to just about $5 even. according to AAA. That reflects a 22-cent rise in the last week and 61-cent rise in the last month. Holy fuck. Okay. If you were a part of the crew that thought, there couldn't be that much damage he could do in 4 years, what's the worst that could happen? Hey, I don't want any more mean tweets. I want the adults back in the room. That's exactly what you're getting right here. And yes, you can do a lot of fucking damage in 4 short years, okay? Oh, but Trump's administration wasn't perfect. Yeah, we know that, okay? But it was a hell of a lot fucking better than it is right now. And everybody's suffering. I know, I'm Canadian. I don't exactly have a horse in this race, but I would love to move down there at some point in time because this place is totally fucked, okay? We got the Trudeau aristocracy for the foreseeable future because Toronto has their heads so far up their fucking ass they think that their Stanley Cup is coming home at some point in time. Get fucked. It's an embarrassing place to say that you're from, and I have aspirations of moving to the States. Obviously, I've made that very apparent and very obvious. So I would love for the United States to succeed, okay? I would love for Canada to turn this shit around, but there is far too many cucks elected right now, and nobody's on the horizon to really help them out. And it's far more easy to right the ship in the United States, and then when they do, the rest of the world prospers, okay? And that can happen, because you remember, shit like this was happening under the late stages of the Barack Obama presidency, right? And then things got relatively good, economically speaking. Yeah, there was a lot of media squabble back and forth, and there was a whole bunch of fucking unnecessary political posturing over the previous 4-year cycle. But outside of that, generally, people were better off financially. People actually were aspiring and planning and saving for the future. Now, they're just trying to save and plan for the end of the fucking week because who knows how expensive gas is going to be by the end of the summer, by the end of the fucking month for that matter. Look, 61 cents in a fucking month. That is a monumental shift, okay? Most gas companies, most gas stations are having to put in an extra slot on their fucking price board, okay? Because they're anticipating $10 gas. We're already seeing something close to that up here in Canada. I know we have different measurements and all that stuff, but as it sits right now, we're working at about $9-ish, and we're sitting on all the fucking shit. But no, we've got that benevolent overlord out there in Ottawa who got heckled and jeered when he came a little bit west, but so he won't be coming back anytime soon. And that was even in Edmonton, and that place is so fucking cucked that their hockey team should change their name from the Edmonton Oilers to the Edmonton KY Jelly. It's fucking pathetic. And polls like this reflect the will of the people, okay? For once, for fucking once, it looks like the hegemony and the narrative setters have stepped just a little bit too far, okay? I'm already seeing the regression when it comes from Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, right? You thought that there would be some sort of inroads when it came to people, you know, just thinking finally properly that maybe we shouldn't be listening to just all women. Maybe not all women are sugar and spice and everything nice. Maybe not all victims that don't have any evidence aren't necessarily telling the truth. Maybe we should start investigating crimes, taking a look at evidence. No, we're already seeing a full press regression right now, and it's fucking sad to see, but it's not totally unexpected, and this is what we're getting right here. We all lived through January 6th, okay? We all remember, we all seen the fucking footage at the time, and what have they presented so far? Fucking nothing. But instead of getting to the root causes, what affects everyday Americans? What affects everyday citizens? They don't give a fuck about. Just remember, ooh, there were a lot of bearded white guys that were down there at the Capitol. That's big scary, and here, let us tell you why it was. Get fucked. With all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.